Really enjoyed the stylistic backdrop of obviously the water, but sort of the thematic overlap of the human being and as a natural element. And I thought that combining the human with the water, with obviously the moon's relationship with water and waves, created a very cosmic sort of spiritual undercurrent to both the dance performance and the images that you were seeing on screen. So I thought it had a really sort of spiritual, meditative vibe that I enjoyed, and also had a sort of just baseline aesthetic beauty in terms of what you were seeing on screen in regards to the performance and to what you were seeing the natural world, that I thought created a good sort of stylistic core for the narrative to follow. There was some slick editing in the pieces, especially towards around the middle part in terms of the images of the performance, the water, moving back and forth in perspective, and I thought really worked well. And it just seemed like a cohesive stylistic approach that I thought contributed to giving the concept a sense of form, even though it was a lot of obviously interpretive images and dance sequences that were not necessarily pinned down to a narrative. But I thought it felt like a cohesive idea because of the editing and the movement of the images and the pacing of the dancing. So I thought it was well done, and I ended up enjoying it for those reasons.
I definitely liked the beach location. The waves crashing throughout was very soothing, but the ambience and the movement of the choreography, it always had this kind of foreboding sensation that just something was wrong. Uh, and so while it was a very calming experience, there was also this tension which created this kind of cacophony, this clash, and it was very, very interesting.
Really visually unique and beautiful. Um, I saw it as a representation of the tide, this interpretive dance that this woman is doing. And the editing was really great with that as well, cutting between the tide and the water and the woman dancing, and how they felt very connected. When the tide was rough and destructive, her dance was a lot more rough and destructive, and the way she moved felt like the way the tide was moving in these cuts between the two, which I thought was really cool. Um, yeah, so we had her going gentle to rough and destructive, just with the tide. So I sort of put it together, the title "Weight of the Moon" and how it's um, the weight of it is controlling the tide and the woman, and the two are one, which I thought was a really cool um, message. And visually, uh, the representation was really beautiful and really great.
It was stimulating for both the eyes and ears. Beautiful cinematography at the ocean's edge and way above with drones. The dancer was so talented and flexible, and the choreography was so passionate with the water and sunset as a backdrop. The sound design with mysterious music and waves on the rocks and shore were perfect for this seaside piece. I loved the fishnet sleeves of the dancer's costume. They complemented the dancer's fish-like moves with the seaweed. I also love the seaweed hair off the top.
I like how this starts very calmly, quietly. We have these images of the sea, the kelp, even on the shore, the waves hitting her. This very peaceful scenery, and then they move to a very dramatic interpretive dance with strenuous sounds and a sense of urgency and chaos with the music behind it. I like that contrast a lot. And then I love this scene where she's turning and the sunset is in the background. That seems so visually appealing. I loved it. It feels so magical. And then we go back to the calmness and the waves and the wind blowing and the seagulls even in the background. I love this film. It was very beautiful.
I loved what they did with the overhead shot and how they made her hair, all of this seaweed and everything. I thought that that was incredible. Her movements too on the beach and the camera work, what they did with that was so incredibly clever and gorgeous. So, yeah, I really liked this so much. I thought it was creative, it was beautiful, and it was fun, and it was deep.
Full of gorgeous, eerie, memorable images. I think the use of waves, and the tide itself to depict the titular idea is genius. The way it kind of seems to mould the dancer in with the natural world around her, with it. It kind of makes the body looks like it's moving in waves, and it's fascinating. And I think it does feel like, you get these kind of intense emotions that sort of roll off of her body, which is really cool and makes it very kind of engaging and powerful. Yeah, I mean, it was just utterly gorgeous. The sunset, the use of the sea, the rocks, the beach, to create this really kind of powerful texture, kind of makes you feel like you're right there. It just was full to bursting